All of us know the importance of data in our applications. Frankly, all things go around it, and users actually visit your application to get informed or interact with a bunch of data chunks to be satisfied. All of this makes dealing with data a really crucial part which needs to be manipulated and maintained correctly, quickly, and efficiently. A user enters your website. A request is sent to the server. The server processes your request, then hits the database to retrieve the requested information and sends a response to the user. Within the recent era of internet, front-end and back-end are now separated, and in a specific way they were connected together. For a long period of time, the main paradigm adopted to organize this connection was RESTful API. This paradigm exposes a bunch of endpoints to the client to accomplish a certain purpose whenever hit. In this way, your application backend has to expose an endpoint per a specific data chunk until it ends up with dozens of endpoints which the client has to organize, sending requests to them and leaving a great part of its major role in building UI for users. Let's stop and propose a question. What exactly does the front end need? It's data. What if front-end leaves all these manually organized requests and sends only a description of what data it needs? Here GraphQL comes to our scene. GraphQL sits between the client and the server, parses the description of client data and translates it to a suitable request sent to the backend. Let's understand more about the great GraphQL. Why did GraphQL name was chosen for this tool? Simply because its schema can be represented by a graph. Stare at the following diagram. As you see in front of you, each entity is represented by a node, and each node is connected to the other by an edge. You can start modeling your schema firstly using a graph based on business requirements, then convert it to a code. But we still need to discover more about GraphQL. It acts as a connector with two endpoints. One is called the client and the other is called the server. The client is integrated within your front end, and it's used to describe the actual and exact shape of data which the front end needs. The server lives in the back end, and it receives all requests sent by the client and then starts its processing. The server consists of two main components, the type definitions and the resolvers. Type definitions illustrate the graph we talked about. It describes how nodes are defined and the relationships between the nodes. Resolvers are the implementation of how the actual data can be prepared, like an actual query that will be sent to the database to fetch some data. GraphQL provides three main functionalities: query, mutation, and subscription. As a client, I will need to fetch some data from the server, update certain data chunk or even delete it, or listen to changes in certain data aggregate to be updated with its status.